Okay. Hello, everybody. I feel so weird when I say that. I don't know why. So actually, hang on one second. Let me get my lights on because I can hardly see. I gotta be able to read, see? Because I got notes. There we go. Sweet. All right. Okay. See, I got notes. My problem is, I think I can read it without my glasses. All right. Hopefully everybody can hear me A-okay. So this one is all about life purpose. And so I expected this one to be kind of a bigger turnout. So, which usually it's going to be. So, all right. First and foremost, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube page, I'm going to ask that you do that. So that way, again, you don't miss out on anything. And I get to reach more people, the more subscribers I guess I get. So I don't know. I'm still learning all this crap. So, again, if you haven't subscribed, make sure that you do that. Make sure that you like it. And then if you haven't liked my Facebook page, I'm going to ask that you make sure to do that as well. But this one, like I said, is all about life purpose. This is all figuring out how to figure it out. So, and I'm going to tell you, there is no, it's funny. Before I was doing this, I was on YouTube trying to see if there was really any, good information out there. And I mean, there was some stuff, but I guess my approach is so different. That's why, I don't know, I just kind of do it how I think, I guess. Hang on, I'll move this over. Too much crap going on. So, okay, how do I explain this one? I'm going to start off by explaining how I see things. And so I know a lot of you guys are going to be scrambling to take notes. So this is going to be recorded so you can rewatch this. So don't feel like you're going to miss out on anything because I do talk fast anyway. So understand that when you die, you go back to a place that's pure love, joy, perfection. You go home. So some of us take a little bit longer to get there. Yeah. But for the most part, we get there. So understand that when you come into this world, you have a specific purpose. Everybody coming into this world, when they are incarnated or when they are born, have a specific purpose. It is your job in this life to figure out what that is. Some people, it's ever evolving, but once you know it, it will hit it'll resonate, it'll ding you like a bell. It will hit every fiber of your being for you to know that's your calling. That's your purpose. And so a lot of the older generation is still trying to figure that out. Whereas the younger generation don't want to, they don't want to have a 9-to-5 job. They want to find what their passion is. And I'm like, screw your passion. Like, let's start looking at how you can help other people. And this is where it really kind of narrows it down, because for the most part, when you begin to go through a spiritual awakening, that's almost one of the first questions you're going to ask yourself is, okay, why am I here? And why the hell did it take me so long to figure this simple question out? And now where do I go to figure this stuff out? And I'm going to tell you, first things first, you always start by following your curiosity. And these millennials and like the Gen Xers and the Gen Zs, you know what? They've got it right. I got to give it to them. And a lot of the older generations like, oh, they're just being floozy and everything else. I'm like, actually, they're trying to find their calling. They really are trying to find their passion or their what makes them giddy up. So usually, when you go through an awakening, it is going to be in service to others. So you are some way along the line going to be able to help people, plants, animals, environment. So usually that's what you're going to narrow it down to. Now, what you choose to do, that's the big subject. So the biggest, I guess the best thing I can tell you is, it's like I said, it's your job and your duty to figure it out. Now, we still live in a reality that requires money, and it requires us to be able to pay for our bills so we can live. So understand that I have a hard time when people are like, oh, you should be able to do what you're doing for free. I'm like, until we live in a free society, that's just simply put, not being real. That's not being real. So, and that's where a lot of the older generation is having issues with some of this stuff too, and younger as well. So, oh my gosh, how do I explain? I'm trying to explain energy and like the big picture stuff. So what if somebody comes to me and says, hey, what's my life purpose? I'm going to tell you, and I teach my students this too, I refuse to tell you what that is. And the reason why I refuse to tell you what it is because it is your job in this world. It is your duty to figure it out. So even if I'm wrong, which, hello, I'm not 100%. No psychic medium ever is. And if they tell you they are, they're full of crap. All right. So your job is to really follow your curiosity. Follow your curiosity. If it's curious and it piques your interest, there's something in there. There's something in there. So I really want you to dive in a little bit deeper. But I'm never going to tell you what your purpose is, because it is the journey to get you there that is the most important. It's not the end game. It's the journey. And if you skip the journey, you gyp yourself out of a lot of stuff, a lot of good stuff. So hopefully we'll start with that. All right. So because I have a lot of people that'll call me and be like, okay, what's my purpose? I'm like, I don't know, figure it out. So usually I can give them a general direction: animals, plants, environment, humanitarian, stuff like that. I'll give it to you general, but I will not be specific on it. So just because, like I said, it's your job to figure it out. So the other thing that I'll tell people is, and this is just kind of a couple ways of maybe thinking about it. So if you don't know quite what it is, there's some things that we can do. Number one, follow the curiosity. Number two, what was the one thing that you got really excited about when you were a kid before somebody told you you can't do that? You can't make money doing that. That's not being real. So they kind of crushed your dreams right then and there. So the biggest thing I'm going to tell you is, what was the dream that you had as a kid? What was the thing that really excited you when you were a child? So, and if you don't know that, there's some other things we can do. So, but the biggest thing is look back into your childhood before somebody told you that you can't, you shouldn't, you won't, any of those words that would have kept you small. So the other one is that I would tell people, screw money, screw education, screw what your mama says. What would be the one job that you would enjoy doing for the rest of your life? What would be the fun job? And what happens is most adults say, oh my God, I've always wanted to that. And then I'll say, then let's do it. But the first thing they're going to do is give me an excuse. I've always wanted to be a teacher, but, and the but I'm going to call you out on, because these are bullshit excuses and resources that are easily accessible. So some people are like, well, I wanted to be a teacher, but now I'm too old and I can't. Crap. I call crap. So I'll call crap. So like I said, that's the biggest thing I could tell you is my job is to call you out on the bullshit that you're telling yourself and self-sabotaging the reason why you're not finding that purpose. Now, I will tell you, this is one of the biggest regrets that I hear from dead people every day. I wish I would have done what I wanted to do with my life, despite what anybody else would have thought. And I'll tell you, when you hear that over and over and over again, that got me to a point personally where I could announce, listen, I'm a psychic medium in Nebraska. And I could sit there and say, you know what? This is who I am. If you don't accept or like who I am, that's your issue. It's not mine. So because I got to a point where I knew who I was. I knew who I needed to become, because that was my calling. It still is. So you'll get there. But the biggest thing is follow the curiosity on the way. Okay, follow that curiosity. So, but like I said, some people, it's like, like I've always wanted to be a mom. I'm like, that's awesome. That is a purpose. Raising good human beings is a purpose. That absolutely is. But after those kids leave, you got to make sure that you're not overly mothering them so much that you're not enabling them. So usually those mamas like that, I'm like, okay, now we got to get you to help old people or babies or animals or something, because they're the caregivers. So the biggest problem I have, and the biggest misunderstanding I think that most people have, is they think that their life purpose has to be this big, huge, miraculous, famous, money-making thing. And I'm going to tell you that's crap. That's crap. I know people, I talked to somebody today. His purpose is to lay cement. That's his purpose. He absolutely loves doing his job. That's his purpose. It's simple, it's easy, and that's his purpose. It could be mowing lawns. It could be baking pies. It could be, rescuing animals. There's a lot of different things. Please don't think that it has to be something big, miraculous, and famous. That's not the case. Many people are able to do their life purpose as a job and cross over loving their life. So the first thing I'm going to tell you is, if you're following that curiosity and you still don't know what it is, I want you to be able to be happy in the moment, because it will come. The more you work on you, the more you work on letting go of old crap, and just being in the present moment. Remember, living in the past is depression. Living in the future is anxiety. Living in the here and now is where you need to be. So if you're following the curiosity, the next step is, I want you to be cool and happy being in the here and now. And what's going to happen is these things are going to start hitting you. They're going to start hitting you when you're taking a shower, when you're going to the bathroom. So when you're doing all these different things. So that's the stuff I want you to pay attention to, but you have to be in the present moment. If your mind is constantly anxiety ridden, worried about the future, it ain't going to happen. If your mind is constantly depressed because you're living in the past, it ain't going to happen. You got to be cool with just being in the here and now. And you do that through meditation. We work on that through meditation. So some people, you know what, Billy, that's a really good one, because Halftime with Billy J said, making people laugh, comedy. Absolutely. Absolutely. Some people, it's to create. Some people are just simply here to create. Other people, they're here to entertain. So like I said, find your purpose and do your purpose. Now here becomes the tricky part, because people are like, well, I can't because I got to work. I'm like, you're right, you do. We all need the day job where we got to eat and pay the bills. But it's the evening. That's when we work on our dreams. That's when we work on our purpose. So you've got to be willing to do that. But I'm going to tell you, when you find your purpose and when you know your purpose, it pulls you to it. It's like you don't have to drive. It just comes to you. It's easy. It's easy. So, but it takes a while, guys. Like I said, and usually there's 5 phases to a spiritual awakening. So it's usually in that 4th phase where we finally figure out the purpose. So I have a lot of people come to me at a phase 3 and go, I'm good. I meditate. I know about law of attraction. I have my goals set, but I still don't know what my purpose is. And I'm like, just hang in there. You still have to get to phase 4 in order for you to really figure that out. Usually it's kind of at the beginning of a phase 4. So that's usually when we figure out the life purpose. And I think I talked about this in one of my videos in the past. I can't stick my finger on which one right off the bat, but there's 5 phases. I did a video on it. So the biggest thing, like I said, another thing that's going to help you out is that think maybe in terms of, these 2 don't ring a bell as far as if you can't find the fun job, maybe think in terms of, what do you feel like you could be qualified to teach right now? So what do you think that you could teach like tomorrow and that you'd be pretty qualified to do? And that's usually a pretty good indicator on where you think that purpose could be. So I fear figuring out my purpose, then I die. Susie, I'll tell you what, then you won. Then you won. So, because like I said, your job in this world is to figure out your purpose and then do that purpose. That's as simple as I can make it. Unfortunately, we still live in a 3D world where that requires money and bills. So, but like I said, that's usually where it lies. But like I said, don't ever fear, you should never fear death anyway, but you should be living life like you're going to be dying tomorrow anyway. So you really should be. And that's the other thing, because somebody said, if you knew that you were going to be dying in 3 months, you knew, what would you do with your life? What would you do differently? That's also another indicator on either A, what you're missing out on, or B, maybe part of that purpose as well. So like I said, these are really big questions, and these are not easy answers. They're just not. So like, and Brianne is saying, I wanted to be a florist, but current job is a social worker. So Brianne, I would tell you, in the meantime, educate yourself. If you know that that's kind of what you want to do, but you're stuck because of a job, then we're going to educate ourselves. We're going to follow the curiosity. We're going to educate ourselves, and usually let the universe just like, okay, this is, I'll do this, but this is what I want to do. God, show me what I need to do to get here, and watch the signs. In the meantime, you be present in the moment, you raise your vibration as high as you can, and focus in on educating yourself in the meantime. So the other thing, yeah, I pretty much just said that. So the other thing is that when you do figure that out, and this is what 90% of us do, because only 10% of us actually do their life purpose. Only about 10%. You'd think it'd be more. It's not. So understand that most people, when they know what their life purpose is, they give themselves an excuse. They give themselves an out. They always do. Well, I can't because I'm raising kids, or I can't because of my age, or I hear the excuses every day. And my job is, like I said, I'm gonna call you out on them. I really am. But the biggest thing I could tell you is, once you think you know what it is, don't tell anyone. Don't, because they're gonna try to talk you out of it. So when I sat my mom down and my brother down, and I said, listen, I'm planning on kind of coming out of the closet as a psychic medium. I just want to let you guys know this is what I'm planning on doing. There may be some backlash on your half, but I'm telling you, this is what I need to do. And so, my mom was surprised, but yet she was cool with it. My brother was too. But at the same time, like I said, I told them, but I didn't want to hear any other reasons. I'm like, this is what I'm doing. I'm not asking your opinion. I'm just stating and letting you know what I'm choosing to do with my life. Now, mom didn't roll with that at first. She didn't really like this idea, but now that she's seen me successful at it, now she gets it. Now she doesn't even worry about me. So, but at the same time, I didn't tell a lot of people, because those people, even though they're well-intended, even though they love me very much, they want to keep me safe and small. And that ain't me. That ain't me. So that's what I'm like, I always tell people, please don't tell people your goals, ambitions, and dreams. Don't, because people will talk you out of it. And then what happens is you believe it, and then you self-sabotage yourself from actually doing it. And then it's always playing in the back of your mind. It always plays in the back of your mind. You're like, yeah, well, I should. Yeah, well, I could. But. And buts are always excuses to me. Always. So your job is to go, okay, how can I start the process? And what I'm going to tell you is, you start the process by learning, by educating yourself. And in nowadays, it doesn't always require a degree. Sometimes it does, sure, but it doesn't always. I mean, I'm sorry. We have information at our fingertips. So to be ignorant or act like you can't get information, wrong, ain't going to happen. So that's why, like I said, the biggest thing is really trying to figure this out. And like I said, it's not easy. Okay, so I'm going to look and see. I want a purpose where people say you changed my life. I couldn't have done it without you. Hoping me getting my master's in clinical counseling gets me to that path. Absolutely, Colleen. That's what you got to do. So that's cool. If money wasn't a factor, I'd be a fertility coach. That goes along with me being purpose as a twin mom. So Julie, what I would tell you, and see, this is the perfect example. She just said, if money wasn't a factor. It's not a factor. It's not a factor. You're making it a factor. So what I would tell you is, if that's something that you truly want to do and be a fertility coach, I want you to start writing blogs. I want you to start getting a website up there. I want you to start figuring out what it takes to be a fertility coach. It doesn't always require money. There's plenty of stuff on YouTube. There's plenty of books out there. There's plenty of things. And remember, I'm not the only psychic medium, guys. I'm not. So every psychic medium has their own different perception or their view on how to help people. So like I said, Julie, you might be an awesome fertility coach, but you're not willing to give yourself a chance because you're giving yourself a money as an excuse. I'm like, don't. Start writing blogs. Start doing things to get this going. So a lot of people, the other thing a lot of people have issues with is they look at the big long-term, they're like, oh my God, that's going to take me 10 years to do. And I'm like, but if you start, very well could have it done in 5. And so many people look at the length of time that it's going to take for them to actually accomplish it and they bail. But I'm like, so what are you going to do for the 5 years of your life? Work your 9-to-5 job and bitch and moan and pay your bills just like you've been doing? Or give yourself an actual fighting chance to do your life purpose and to make a difference in people's lives or animals or environment or whatever. So like I said, the biggest thing I can tell you is that is your mission when you come into this world. Your mission to come into this world is to know how you're connected to God's source energy and to figure out your purpose of being here and then do that purpose. That's it. That's it. And to love one another. Love is a big thing. So hopefully that kind of makes a little bit of sense. But like I said, the biggest thing is once you know, you go. Once you know, you just go. You go. But like I said, you can't sit there and say, well, I'm not going to do that. I'm watch TV instead. No. So is it possible that you can live your whole life and not know your purpose? It is, Laura, to the unenlightened people. If you're enlightened, you're seeing that 11:11, you're going to figure your life purpose out. You'll figure it out. So, but unenlightened people usually do go through their life without knowing what their purpose really is. So those are usually the ones on the other side that really do regret it. So, so Emily says, I think mine has something to do with art, but I know my creativity comes only in occasional bursts. Emily, I'm going to tell you the next time you get a creative hit, I want you to write down the time, because most unlikely there's a certain time of the day where your creativity is the highest and you're going to allow yourself a time period to figure it out. So that's the best thing that I can tell you. So, how do you know when you find your purpose? Oh, you'll know. Oh, you'll get tingles. It'll ding you like a bell. Like I said, everything in your body will go, oh, that's it. That's it. And you'll have almost a weird euphoric feeling. And then your ego starts coming in and going, well, let's just be real, shall we? Let's talk about how we can talk you out of this to keep you safe. Because that's what your ego's job is to do, is to keep you safe. So your intuition is the one to get you going. And that's where this fighting kind of comes in. Again, meditation is how we get the ego to sit down and shut up a little bit. So I could swear next to my purpose to be a mother, I'm supposed to be a medium or healer. Shelly, I would definitely say for you a healer. So, and that's why I'm like going, wait till, because I always know young mothers, I say young mothers, when moms have babies that are young, under the age of 5, you got to be a mom. Babies need their mamas. So, but when kids start school, that's when mom can start working on purpose outside of that. So again, that's the best time. We got to work with what we got with family. I mean, I got 3 teenagers. I got to work with what I got. So, but I'm sorry, I have 2 businesses, 3 teenagers, a husband, 2 asshole dogs, and a really fat black cat. And you know what? I make it work because I have to dedicate certain days and certain times to certain things. So, but I'll tell you what, I don't waste my time watching TV. And if I watch a movie, I'm usually sick. So, but again, it's all about, like I said, my purpose, it's not work. It's not, I don't work. So that's the biggest thing I can tell you, is because if it's your purpose, it doesn't feel like work. It just doesn't. It doesn't. And it carries you on to the next day and the next day and the next day. And you're like, oh my gosh, it's 9 o'clock at night. I got to go to bed. So, and you're excited to wake up in the morning. If you're exhausted to wake up and you're sick and tired of going to work, then you're doing something wrong. You're not living your life for you. You're not doing it the right way. So, wanted to be a midwife, then became a sonographer. Now I'm teach sonographers and doctors ultrasound equipment. Fabulous, Carrie. So like I said, the biggest thing is still look into the midwife. If it's still something that interests you, go for it. Go for it. So Dad is a healer. I feel that I have the gift also. Is that possible for me? Tig, it is. So, yep, absolutely. I want to be a psychic, but my abilities are inconsistent. How can I bring it forward permanently? So Winter, what I would tell you is practice, 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 practice. So practice. So, you know, here's the one thing I gotta give some certain props to. So I have some psychic mediums that when they first start, they work with the 1-800 or the 1-800 numbers, and they do readings, you know, over the phone, and they get paid like 30 cents a minute or something like this or whatever it is. And I'm going to tell you what, to start out, nothing wrong with that. It's an avenue. It's an avenue. So I would tell you, if you don't have, you know, any metaphysical shops that you could maybe do readings at, or any expos that you have the opportunity to do that at, that's a viable option. But I'm going to tell you what, practice makes perfect. Just like anything else, practice will make you perfect. And I'll be real with you. So when I started doing readings, I started doing parties. So instead of me reading one person a day, I was reading 15 a night. So then that 15 turned in, you know, those 15 people said that they had a fabulous experience, and then they went on to more. So, but that was how I got started. So, but find your niche, find your thing, find your thing. I don't do parties anymore because I had to give something up for time reasons. So that was my one. Okay, let's see here. Can we have multiple purposes that change throughout our lives? You know what, Kristen, you can. Absolutely, yes, you can. I thought my purpose starting out was a Reiki master. Then I became a psychic medium. Now I'm becoming a teacher. So yes, it absolutely can. And that's why I'm like going, follow what lights you up. If it lights you up, do it. And if somebody has a problem with it, their freaking problem, not yours. Don't make it yours. Just because somebody is ignorant and judgmental, don't take the bait. They don't know. They don't know. So, I feel like I've had inspiration for a bunch of things, actor, writer, life coach, how to narrow it down without the ego getting in the way. Rosalind, good question. What I would tell you is pick your top 3. Pick your top 3. Eliminate what doesn't feel good. Now, what I mean by this is a really good one, Rosalind. So what I would tell you is sit with actor. When you say the word actor, I'm an actor. How does it feel? Does it go up, curious, interesting, and does it make you nervous? That's a yes. If it hits you like, yeah, then that ain't it. Then if you're like, well, it's a no. So that's the process of elimination. How does it feel? Because you can't think about your life purpose. You feel it. It has nothing to do with logic. It's all based in the heart center. So that's why I'm like, you'll feel it in your chest first. You'll know it. You'll know it. So, Jill, I like helping others organizing. Should I look into being a professional organizer? Not only yes, but hell yes. So again, look at what do you all need to start a business? How do you do a website? How do you market? How do you advertise? That's my research now, which by the way, there are 6 planets in retrograde. Now is the perfect time to research. So now is the perfect time to think big picture. How does it feel? Not necessarily time to make a move on the chessboard. Not time to make a move on the chessboard, but it is time to process of elimination. Where do I go from here? It's almost like I was here. I'm here now. Where do I want to go? And right now we're in that here and now. So when the eclipse hits later in July, that's the end of, okay, go time. It's go time. So by August 1st, you better have your poop in a group. So the other thing I'm going to tell you is I want you to pay attention to nonchalant, weird crap when it hits you. Because you'll be driving and go, oh, damn, that's good. So pay attention. Weird stuff's going to hit you when you least expect it. Make sure that you verbally say it out loud so you can remember it. So let's see. I always wanted to be a mom. Now kids are in school, working as a nanny, twin babies. Yes. There you go, Frankie. That's all I'm like going, nope, that's your calling as a nanny or a caregiver. Absolutely, yes. Susie said, I do not feel like my current job is my work purpose. It's probably not. So, but here's the deal. I was working at the garden center, and I love my job at the garden center. Absolutely loved it. And then this started taking off. And I knew that horticulture was my way of getting me where I needed to be, which is here. And I'm telling you, I couldn't have forced my psychic mediumship to come out any sooner. I had to go through an awakening just like everybody else. So hopefully that makes sense. But like I said, the biggest thing is don't get so overwhelmed in that big picture, guys. Please don't, because a lot of people fade out in that big picture. And then 10 years goes by and then they look back and they're like, wow, I wish I would have started it because now I would be in a totally different place. I'm like, yep. So how do you find your purpose while you're depressed? First things first, Chris, I would tell you, get some goals, and short-term goals, not long-term. So like where could you go? What could you get? What could you do that's going to make you happy in 6 months? Same thing goes with a year. So 3 goals for 6 months, 3 goals for a year. Where do you see yourself? So, and write them down, stick it on your bedroom wall. So that's where I would start. So, because remember, depression is because your memory goes to the back, it goes to the past. And I'm like, I want you to, when your mind goes to the past, talk your way through it. No, I'm going to let this go. I need to start thinking about something different. And literally, physically get up and do something different. I don't care if you do the dishes or just move a cup over. So just get your brain to get off the repetitive old school pattern that's replaying in the brain. Okay. So Melissa says, I just like to give. I buy things I don't need in case someone needs it, and they always do. Perfect. You're the humanitarian, Melissa. So that's what that is. Carrie says, been in daycare 22 years, not sure of next step. If you're done with the kids, usually people are done with the kids. They go to older adults. We go from small kids to, hospice care. So older adults, or animals or plants. So, okay. I want to start my own business, but afraid of failure and nothing to fall back on. And I'm going to tell you, Danny, if that's the case, burn your freaking bridge. Jump in both feet, because if you've got nothing to fall back on, you will not fail. You won't fail because you're going to sink or you're going to swim. And if you don't have a plan B, you will swim every single time. Every single time. So there is, and Eric and I say that all the time, there is no plan B. It's plan A, and plan A will work. But we got to work together sometimes, or if plan A doesn't work, then we need to deviate or tweak plan A. So plan A was awakenings. COVID hit. We took a time out. We sat down and we brainstormed and said, okay, we weren't expecting this. So what do we do to fix it? What do we do to resolve this problem? And we put our heads together, we figured it out, and away we went again. Like I said, there is no plan B. And if you have a plan B, that's an excuse to not do your purpose. So that's like, burn your bridges so you can't possibly go back. You can't. And I'm going to tell you what, you'll be successful, because when it's all on you and everything is on your shoulders, you will succeed, because failure isn't an option. And what happens is you almost get like hyper focused on it to where it has no purpose but to succeed. So that's what I would tell you. I'm like, jump in both feet when you feel like you're ready, and don't look back. It's go time all the way. Don't tell people about it. Just announce it. This is who I am. This is what I'm doing. And this is what I'm willing to offer. That's it. And then treat it like a business. A lot of people that are in my line of work, or that are the caregivers, or that are the humanitarians. So people like that have the tendency, their businesses fail, and then they're like, well, it failed because, I'm like, it failed because you didn't charge. It failed because you didn't treat it like a business. That's why it failed. So you got to remember, we still live in a 3D world. Yes, it's going 5D, but we still live in that 3D world that requires money and funds in order for us to be able to eat and pay the bills. So that's on my going. Don't wait on that. Okay. Chris, after coaching for many years, going through a time of change, slowly coming out of it, kids achieving their goals now. How? Oh, I didn't get that one. It fell off. Do that one again. Okay. So let's see here. Very interested in Reiki and physical wounds. Blood doesn't bother me. So ER trauma. No, you got to be slower, Shelly. You can't do you can't do the fast stuff. Quit a toxic job, 16 years, spending quality time with my kids, enjoying every minute of it. Making jewelry, want to start an online store. Wilbur 2004. I'm not only going to say yes, hell yes to this. Hell yes to this. Again, run it like a business. So that's what I'm going, get everything ready to go, then launch. So feel so scattered. What do I determine what I want? Carol, that's a good question. If that's the case, I'm going to tell you, let's get back to the goals. Start with the goals and start with following the curiosity. So that's usually how it starts. And goals are a lot like purpose. Goals hit us when we least expect it. We're outside sitting on the patio. You're like, damn, that would be kind of fun if I could do that. So it's the biggest thing is that I want to make sure that you guys aren't so damn busy minded that you miss it. If your mind is busy, if you are constantly thinking and your brain doesn't shut up, well, then it's not going to allow spirit to come in and be like, hey, this might be a good idea. So, but if your brain is constantly moving, no, it won't happen. Now, you might have some flashes of it before you go to bed or when you wake up in the middle of the night. Sure, you might have some flashes. But the biggest thing that I can tell you is, like I said, make your mind quiet. Meditate. So, yep, learn how to meditate. Dog groomer seems risky. Deb, if you have... I have a furry dog. I have to wait a month and a half to get my dog in because they need groomers so bad. I'm like, do it. All you have to do, literally, all you have to do is go on like Indeed.com or Monster.com and look how many dog groomers there are needed. Oh, there's lots. So, like I said, go for it. Being guided in two totally different directions, both feel right, but I should pick one so I can focus in on it. Feeling lost because I don't know which one is the right one. Tracy, if that's the case, what I would tell you is to just sit back and say, okay, God, I can't decide. I'm 50-50 with both. Help show me A or B. Show me. And you're going to see signs repetitively over and over and over to see which one to go to. You'll see it. Deja vu does mean that you're on the right path, Erica. Yep. That means that you've precognitively dreamt about the moment that you're going to have. So when deja vu happens, it's never anything exciting. It's always something really stupid. But usually it does mean that you're on the right path. Yes. When I say hell yes, it's because yes, I'm reading it. So, Tiffany, yes. The garden center would fly in the small community. Absolutely. The biggest thing that I could tell you is start small. You can always grow. Try to be on the end of town or at the edge of town. So that way, if you grow, you can grow out of town and you have that flexibility or that room. In the meantime, educate yourself. Educate. So wanted to always be an ER doctor, feel too old to start over, insecure about student loan debt. And this is, again, money is holding you back. But an ER doctor is going to be able to pay for the student loan debt. And so if that's the case, start with it as an LPN. And then sometimes any more hospitals are so desperate to help train staff that sometimes hospitals are willing to, help you out when it comes to student debt. So, but start. Just start as an LPN, then you'll become the RN, then you go into PA, then you become a doctor. Sure, it might take you 8 years, 10 years, but again, wouldn't you rather be a doctor at 60 than to sit back when you're 75 going, God, I wish I would have. So, and who knows, maybe PA is where you want to stop. So, but like I said, the biggest thing I'm going to tell you is try it anyway. Try it anyway. And even better, ask if you could job shadow. Ask if you could job shadow for a half a day. So a lot of times they'll allow you to do that. So job shadow for a half a day. If it's meant to be, you will know it because it'll be freaking awesome. And if it's not meant to be, really quickly you'll know. And I really encourage my 18, 19, 22-year-olds to job shadow what they think they want to be. Because again, spirit will help you. If it's meant to be, you're going to be lit up. If it's not, it won't. I thought I wanted to be a vet. Nope. I was fine. Pigs, animal. I was fine with all the animals until they brought a snake. And I'm like, nope, I'm out. I'm out. So I thought I was going to be an RN until I saw a bunch of blood and guts on the floor. Nope, I'm out. So the biggest thing is, like I said, follow the curiosity. Don't be afraid to job shadow somebody to really determine if that's what you want to do. Because again, if it's meant to be, spirit will make it amazing, amazing. So feel like my purpose is to help people heal, find their purpose. I'm curious about Reiki, alternative medicine. Dive in then, Lizzie. Dive in. So become the Reiki master, practice tarot cards, practice alternative medicine, dive in, sit your butt at the buffet table, sit your butt at the buffet table and figure it out. Figure it out. So Angela said that I want to hit the lottery and travel. So here's what I want you to do instead, Angela, because you're telling spirit, this is how I want to do it. And spirit's like, no. Because again, law of attraction states that you don't get to determine how you're going to get that money. Your job is to imagine what it's like to already have it and watch what happens. Watch what happens. Because again, I'm not your mom to sit there and say, oh, that's not going to happen, because you already know in a weird way in your head that self-doubt isn't going to happen. But I want you to put that off to the side and instead imagine what it's like to have $1 million in your bank account, not have a job, and travel the world. How does that feel? Then law of attraction it's a law. It will then start showing you signs on how to do it. That's what law of attraction does. So in the process of a divorce after 15 years in school for management, human services, started to work as a CNA, as healthcare where you need to be. Yes, Lacey. Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, Janine, I love that. Definitely nurturing with a love of cooking, not the fast food type, trying to narrow it down. And Janine, hopefully right now you are working in a restaurant or you're working around food. And if you're not, get your butt moving. So again, I want you, if you think you know what it is, guys, I want you to immerse yourself in that environment. So because, babe, it's boiling over. He has something on the stove and he forgot. Well, you put it on medium. Oh, that's me.
This is a woman's job.
Yeah, no. Yeah, funny. So I'm like, but like I said, Mimi saying that I don't want to do social work constantly breaks my heart and exhausts me. If you're an empath, Mimi, that's probably not the best bet for you. So maybe it's time to start reevaluating what you want to do. Dad died kidney failure. I want to honor him by donating kidney, but doors keep getting slammed in my face. Rhonda, because that's a no. That's a no. That's a great thing to honor him, but I'm going to tell you, do it in a different way. Other than giving a body part up, do it a different way to honor him. That's why you're getting slammed. So, any recommendations in Nebraska to become a Reiki healer? Lizzie, I'm actually working on, I think I have it for the end of August for, on my schedule for Reiki. So I teach Reiki twice a year. So I'm a Reiki master. I can teach that. So I just haven't gotten it kind of on the public books. I got it on my book, but I don't have it on a public book yet. So, but yeah, home real estate. Mindy, absolutely, because eventually you're going to get into the creativity and or flipping houses. So yes, you should. Yep. So how do you find what you want in time of change in your life? Chris, I'm going to tell you what, follow that curiosity and just sit and chill. Don't expect anything to come to you when you're sitting and chilling. Nothing usually does. It's the after effects. It's the after effects that will open you up to figuring out what that purpose is. But like I said, right now it's all about process of elimination. I don't want this. I don't want that. I don't like this person around. And I don't like this person around. The other thing I'm going to tell you is check your friends. If you're hanging around a bunch of negative, whiny, bitchy people, you will not be able to move forward. You've got to be willing to let those people go, well-intended or not. You've got to be willing to let these people go so you could have new people around you that will help support the goals, ambitions, and dreams. Like energy attracts like energy. If you hang around a bunch of millionaires, you'll become a millionaire. If you hang around a bunch of losers, you become losers. I think we learned this in high school. Still applies when it comes to adults. Still applies when it comes to adults. So make sure that you're checking yourself. Who around you might be bringing you down? And then we don't tell that person our goals, ambitions, and dreams because they're going to sabotage it, or you're going to self-sabotage yourself. Will practicing more help my psychic abilities? Yes, it will. Is my purpose to make people happy and laugh? Absolutely, Brienne. And I'm going to tell you, get into comedy. Let's go. Like I said, let's get going. It's funny because a lot of people come to me knowing what their purpose is, but they want me to validate it for them. They want me to sit there and say, yep, you're right. And I'm like, I shouldn't have to. Everything in your soul is screaming at you that you need to do it. You don't need my permission. You don't need anybody's permission. Just do it. That's why I'm doing this class today, because I'm like, please don't think that you need permission from anybody, a psychic or otherwise. Just go. You got to feel your way through it. If it doesn't feel right, then it's a no. It'll feel right though. It'll be curious. It'll be interesting. It'll make you nervous. That's good. That's all good stuff. Let's see. Got excited a few things, but then I found it's too hard when I practice it, like feng shui. Why? Because you haven't found the right teacher. You haven't found the right teacher. So, husband has issue with boss, negative bracelets. Husband has the issue at work, boss negative, bought bracelets from you to help him at work. Fabulous. So black tourmaline's a good one. So, what if you thought you found it and seemed to have lost it? Tabitha, I'm going to tell you what, that's when we need to take a vacation. So like when I tell people to take a break, take a vacation. It never fails when I go on vacation because I'm out of my element. Out of my element. And because think about it, you're out of your element, you're surrounded by strange people in a strange place. Innately, your intuition expands. It gets stronger. It's harder. And I just want you to sit and chill. Let everything go and be like, okay, I'm open. Help me to figure this one out. You'll figure it out almost always when you're on vacation or changing up the basic routine that you have. So just changing up your routine. Still trying to figure out my purposes. I'm in alternative medicine, but still searching. Keep going, Grace. Just keep going. That's like a lot of people always, they get to a point where they're this close and they're like, nah, screw it. I'm like, oh my gosh, you were this close. Everything was going to manifest and you quit. So that's what I'm like going, once you figure it out, you go with it. You go with it. But you got to be willing to kind of change some stuff up too. Akira, yes, I will tell you that. How do you get past your ego telling you all the ways it's possible to fail? Kelly, I will tell you that's a perfectionism issue. And somebody, your mom or your father, taught you that you must be perfect because everybody's watching. Everybody's watching you. So that's why I'm like going, your job is to let go of that perfectionism issue, because perfectionists they don't do big things because they care what everybody else thinks. So, but like I said, guess what? You're going to fail. There's a lot of things I failed at. So I failed at a lot of stuff, but I'll tell you what, it made me a stronger person. It made me smarter. So don't ever be afraid of failure, because let's be real. When you launch a business, you're going to. They tell you that you're going to. I have made mistakes. Oh, so is my husband. So we make mistakes. It's normal. Absolutely normal. But your job is to go, okay, lesson learned. I won't do it again. Let it go. Let it go. Move on. Let's roll. So you're not going to sit there and wallow in it. You're not going to do that. I mean, I'll give you 24 hours to wallow in it. That's about it. And we got to hustle up and move on. So life's too short to be wallowing in all that fear and pity because you made a mistake. Mistakes are going to happen. So thinking about teaching kids how to meditate, ground, deep breathing techniques. Patty, I love that idea. Yes, please. Get excited when I write. Not sure direction to go with this. Start with blogs, June. So start with the blogs. Just keep rolling. So a lot of times when people write, they in their head, they want everything organized. I'm like, no. When you get the itch to write or create, sit your butt down, do it. Don't worry about organizing it. Organizing it's the last thing you want to do. Not the first, the last thing you want to do. I'm not sure if I should be following the travel ideas or be the real estate business. Ooh, that's a tough one, Steph. You know what? Job shadow. I'm going to tell you what, you're the one that I would recommend job shadow. Job shadow, a half a day for the travel, half a day for the real estate agent. And like I said, you're going to know really quick which one is a yay and a nay. So like I said, actually physically get in that workforce. So told him super powerful person here to change the world. Not sure how to do it. Is it my psychic ability? You know, Tanya, I would tell you start there. Start there. So I work with special needs kids. I'm where I need to be. Fabulous, Megan. I believe that. I want to pursue art, but my job drains and leaves me feeling meh. I can't quit my job though. What can I do not to feel meh? That's a good one, Emily. So if your job, because here's the deal. If your day job is bringing you down, then we got to consider switching up the day job. Because if you're not enjoying going to work during your day job, you will not have enough energy to figure out the purpose stuff or to do the art or the creativity. So maybe consider changing up the day job. And again, a lot of people don't like to change up the day job because they're like, well, nobody's going to hire me. I won't have the same benefits. I won't have the same pay. I'm like, you don't know that unless you actually brush up the damn resume and apply somewhere different. And until you do that, you'll never know. But you're also giving yourself another excuse on why you can't move on. So that's my first things first. Let's get you a good day job. And then you'll have enough energy for the weekend and the evening to actually get something accomplished. So Trisha's asking, could it just be the place you're working at? Absolutely. Absolutely. It doesn't have to be a business owner, but absolutely, yes. It could be the caregiver. Like I said, it could be helping to raise somebody else's children. It could be teaching. It could be cooking. So it could be lawn mowing, dog caring, lots of things. Please don't think it has to be this huge, crazy thing. So just need to change jobs since I have some negative coworkers that don't make work fun. So probably not. What I tell people is that if you have negative coworkers, vibe higher. Vibe higher. Cockroaches don't like light. Cockroaches don't like light. If you vibe high enough, the cockroaches will leave. Either that or you'll get promoted, one of the two. So I feel like I'm going through an awakening, ready to grow and embrace change. Husband's an alcoholic, blames problem, refuses change. Leave him and start over. Wilbur, 2004, I won't even say yes on that one. I'm going to say hell yes on that one. So, because it's not your job to wipe his ass. It's his job to do it. And I'm sorry. I know that sounds really crass. But again, if he's refusing to work on the issues of how he was raised by his father, then he will never change. That's his issue, not yours. Not yours. And if you want to be where you need to be, you can't drag dead weight behind you. You can't drag dead weight. So many ideas I can't decide. I'm like, ooh, what about this or what about that? You know, Tiffany, that's cool. Stay at the buffet table. Stay there. Stay with that curiosity. Something will hit you later down the road, but stay here. Stay like, ooh, that's neat. Ooh, that's neat. Look into this. Look into that. So pretty soon, process of elimination, you'll figure it out. You'll figure it out. Let's see here. So trying to get myself out of the past. How do I let my father who passed in 2002, I'll always be with him? I don't know. That has nothing to do with life purpose. How do I grow my business in mediumship readings? Like I said, practice and treat it like a business. What are you doing that's different than everybody else? What are you doing that's different than everybody else? What's your niche? What's your niche in the market? So, okay. So I think that's pretty good. Like I said, the biggest thing, guys, is if you still don't know what it is, I want you to follow the curiosity. So, and it's okay to sit and immerse yourself, because remember, this is a lifetime. You have a lifetime to figure out your purpose, and it's way better late than never at all. It's better late than never. And once it hits you, like I said, you're gonna know it, because it'll ring your bell. You'll be like, everything in you will go, oh my God, that's it. That's why I chose to come here in this time-space reality. That's why. So, all right, guys. So like I said, I want to thank everybody again for watching. If you haven't considered maybe Enlightenment Academy, may want to consider that. Like I said, that is my Enlightenment Academy is a program that I put together for the next generation of psychic mediums, healers, life coaches, things like that. So I think I only have 2 spots left for Enlightenment Academy for this round. I have another round of Enlightenment Academy in October. So if you don't make this one, I've got another one opening up in October. But I want to thank everybody so much for attending. Really, really appreciate all the love, guys. I really do. And if you haven't checked out Awakenings, I'm going to tell you to check out Awakenings. It's a crystal store. Everybody needs crystals. So yes, Josie, I am having Enlightenment Academy in October. So, all right, guys, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Hopefully this kind of helps you out a little bit. And again, if you feel like you missed some stuff, go back and watch this. All right, guys, thank you so much. Have a wonderful week. Like I said, try to let go of this old past stuff and try to be in that here and now. And it's really easy to do with all these planets in retrograde. So wait to make any major moves in the chessboard until about that August 1st point. August 1st, it's go time. In the meantime, we're going daydream, eliminate, simplify, makes things a lot easier. All right, guys, thank you so much. You guys take care. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye.